Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and today I have my combo project of my Project 10 uses and my No Pan Left Behind. So, I've been doing this for the past 2 years, I believe, on my channel, but basically why I started doing a Project 10 uses was that I was noticing that I was hyper fixating on my Project Pan items and the rest of the items in my collection were kind of being ignored and not being used, as Mr. Washburn comes to say hello, but I decided to do something about that. So my biggest categories, not necessarily problem categories, but my biggest categories, I did roll into a randomized wheel so that I would touch them and get use on them. I do have some rollouts. I don't know how many because I literally just collected my stuff and sat down to go ahead and start filming, but we will go over my progress, my items that get to move out that I've used my 10 uses on, and then we will roll in new items. And then my No Pan Left Behind is to touch every single eyeshadow in my collection. Now the past 2 years I've not been able to do that in a calendar year. My No Pan Left Behind has rolled over into January for me to hit that goal, so I am trying to be mindful about touching my eyeshadows. Mainly because of course I want to use my eyeshadows because I've spent money on them, but also because I want to see if formulas have changed, if my tastes in formulas have changed, or if the product is just old enough to have run its course. But let me go ahead and get all my stuff together. I have my book so I can see how many items we're rolling out on my Project 10 uses. And like I said, I am super excited about rolling in new things. So let me roll my beautiful bean footage and we will get right into my little dual project. So I will say one thing. I don't think you guys can tell, but I decided right before I sat down to film this video, let me cross my legs and my chair will make its weird noises, but this is how I'm comfortable. Right before I sat down to start putting on my makeup, I was like, oh, let me go ahead and nair my face. Not a good idea. Number one, I've never naired my face before. My legs do okay with nair. I will not be nairing my face again. Number one, I feel like I only left it on for 5 minutes, which is the recommended like amount of time, but I tried doing like under my brows. So this under here is very tender and like it's not happy. And then around my face, because of course, I mean, I had to get my mustache, I had to get kind of my chinny chin hairs, but number one, the nair for your face is not strong enough to get those like thick dark hairs that come in with age and with PCOS, so I will not be doing that again. But the around my mouth is so red, like when I take my makeup off today, I'm curious how red my face is going to be, so I will not be nairing my face ever again. I will just continue to wax and kind of shave it with the microderm kind of razor things. So, and then also I'll continue plucking until I decide to pay for like is it electrolysis? Is the like electric hair removal type of stuff? But one day I will pay for that to be done on my face. But in the meantime, we are going to go over my Project 10 uses. So I did have quite a few fragrances, lip products, and actually I had lip products, fragrances, and nail polishes rolled in. Let me go through my book real quick and see what I can roll out. I can roll out 3 things, but I think I'm going to actually draw in 5 just because I am super close on some other products in here. And I will admit I was not the best at tracking this past month just because we had some stuff going on in real life, some stressful stuff that if I was putting on a lip product or if I was spraying myself with some of my perfume, I wasn't necessarily coming back into my room to mark it. So there's probably some of these that I have already done my 10 uses on. I just don't have them marked. So we will kind of play with that. But I'm going to go in the order in which they are on my Canva on my little tiles. So let me go ahead and start with this one. So this is the Fleur Heavy Cream Body Mist. So this is in my plan to pan, so my 26 and 2026. So I am marking it as far as per month. So that green mark is going to be the beginning of February is where I was able to get that. And when I have my pictures pop up, the side-by-side will be from like the 23rd to the 22nd, which is today. So that will have a more like accurate representation. But if I set it down on my table, I'm a little bit below the actual green mark at the beginning of February. So I think I use this the most in those like 7 days at the end of January. But for my heavy cream, I do have 8 uses on it. And again, I probably have 10. I just was not marking every single time just because, of course, life. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my additional 2 uses on this. I'm just going to, you know, organically use it. But I'm going to roll something else in its place because I know getting those 2 uses is going to be very easy, and I would like to work on another product and not just have this like slot open for the entire month with me not working on something. So heavy cream, we have 8 uses, but I am going to be rolling in something new for this body spray. And of course, like I said, my tiles will pop up with my graphics, so you guys will be able to see changes in weights and all of that stuff. Now let's look at my Ellis Brooklyn Miami Nectar. Again, another fragrance. And I will say, if I'm looking at my pictures and I'm looking at what I'm seeing now, I'm now down to, is it the top of the ears? I never noticed that her logo is like a tiger. Yes. So I'm down to the top of the ears, and I was above the ears in the prior picture. So, but I've not used that one a whole lot. Again, that one is a little bit out of season, even though our weather warmed up for about a week and now we have another cold front coming through. So while I did say that the groundhog can shove it, he did for about a week. We had like 75 to 80 degree weather for the past couple days, and it was wonderful. And like I could, like, we had the windows open, I had the windows down in the car, I was wearing shorts, I didn't have to carry a sweater with me everywhere. It was great. Cold again. It is cold again. But for Miami Nectar, I do have 5 uses on it. I actually sprayed it on myself today. So I do have 5 uses. That one, I'm not going to roll in anything because it took me a whole month to do the 5 uses. So we're going to continue to get an additional 5 uses on this one. Again, it is beautiful. And I actually sprayed the Ellis Brooklyn like banana smoothie body spray on my sweater yesterday. Did I wash that sweater yet? I might have to go smell that sweater to see what I think, because I've sprayed, you guys know I love banana. I want to be like a sexy banana all the time. But I sprayed that on my sleeve because I wanted to see what it smelled like with the dry down. And so I need to go back and smell my sweater. But the other one, I do have the Ellis Brooklyn like caramel apple, or like the Carnival Queen or whatever it is. I don't even know what it's called. I do have that one in my loves list, and whenever I have a little bit of extra funds to buy myself another fragrance, I will be buying that apple one, especially for the fall. But we have 5 uses on Miami Nectar, and I can't wait to get more use on that one during the summertime. Now, here's something that I am actually able to roll out because I got my 10 uses on it, and this one's not surprising, at least not to me, and that is the Crumb Couture from Sniff. So the amount of times that I'm like, this is yeasty in the best way, I'm surprised you guys aren't in my comments more, like telling me that that's disgusting or that I'm crazy, unless you guys like this bready smell like I do. Like, I want to smell like a snack. I do. And actually, Andy was texting me the other day that the Caramel Cafe body spray from Bath & Body Works also kind of has that like bready smell to it. So she's been actually like spraying those together, the Crumb Couture and the caramel cafe, and she said that that's a really good combo, so I need to try that. And I actually went into Ulta trying to find the almond one of the Creme Couture just so I could smell it and probably buy it, but they did not have it in my Ulta, so I'm going to have to wait till that one comes to Ulta so I can take a sniff on it. But I am all the way down. So I was just like below the very top of the bottle, and now I'm to the top of the first Creme Couture. Like, I spray the shit out of this one. It is so good. So we got more than 10 uses on Creme Couture. Love that one. So happy to have a full size of that. Most definitely. Now let's look at one of my nail polishes. So this is another one that I get to roll out, and I was actually very surprised that I'm going to spoil it now, but both of my nail polishes are rolling out. And this one was Scum and Villainy. I always want to put an R in there, but Scum and now I have to look at it again because I don't, that word is not in my vocabulary. Villainy. Okay. So this is one of these Star Wars polishes from Mooncat. It is a magnetic polish, and so sometimes I would use the magnet on it, sometimes I wouldn't, just because it is such a dynamic and fun shade without the magnetic component to it. But it is such a fun shade. It is a darker shade, but that's fine. I have a dark shade on my nails today. But yeah, I got my 10 uses on this. With my nail polishes, if you're new, hi, welcome. But with my nail polishes, I consider each hand or each foot one use because otherwise it would take me forever to get through my polishes, and I want to touch as many polishes as I can in my collection. So very, very happy. This was, so apparently my husband has like started a tradition where every Christmas he buys me like a nerdy, like gift that spans between his nerdy interests and my interests in beauty. So 2 years ago, he got me the entire Star Wars collection from Mooncat. This past year, he got me the entire Lord of the Rings collection from Glamlight, which I have thoughts. I don't know if I want to do, oh, what is my hair doing? I need to wash my hair. I put so much product in my hair to make it like smooth today, but it is getting washed because I want my curls back. But I have thoughts on Glamlight. So it is my first time trying Glamlight with this collection, and I have thoughts. But for another day, let's see. Okay, so my other nail polish is the next one on my slides, and that is from I Love Nail Polish, and I always say it out loud because I cannot say the acronym correctly because of my dyslexia. ILNP. Unless I'm looking at it. So this is no, this is butterflies. Have I been using butterflies instead of lily this entire time? Well, I've been using butterflies instead of lily. Let me find lily. I think lily is still this, but with sparkle in it. I've been using the wrong polish this entire time. Please hold. So yes, this is lily. Not this. Why didn't somebody correct me? Why are you guys not doing the job of double checking me? But I've been using butterflies, which is a creme, which again is still good because I need to use my cremes, instead of lily, which is this beautiful like glitter shimmer. So okay, I might actually just have to like roll lily in its place, or see what the, maybe I'll use this one on my own, but use lily 10 times. But yeah, I've been using butterflies instead. Which again, is totally okay because I actually don't like reaching for my cremes. So the fact that I reached for this by mistake is totally cool with me. So this is butterflies, not lily, but this is a beautiful lilac creme shade. And I told you guys that I ended up really loving using this with the topper that Andy sent me from China Glaze. And so I am very, very happy that I was able to get use on this and find a way that I love using it. Like that topper just transformed this shade right here. And I'm pretty sure that I can use that same topper on top of Lily as well, and even more of that sparkle will come through. So I am going to be super excited about reaching for Lily as well, especially rolling into the spring. So I'll kind of have that one on my back burner that I'm using. Because like I said, I'm using Bear Hug today from I Love Nail Polish, which is in my 26 and 2026. So again, I'm using other nail polishes that are outside of my projects as well, so I'll make sure to touch Lily. But shame on me for being a bad YouTuber. But overall, like I said, I'm just happy that I was able to figure out a way that I liked using my cremes. And if I look at my pictures, the kind of line of like, what is it, like separation, it was well above the logo, and now it is like right at the top of the logo. So I used the crap out of this polish, and rolling into the spring as well, I can see myself using this a whole lot more with that topper over it. So even though it was the wrong polish, I am glad that I made that mistake, and I'm glad that I did not pay attention. But I did get my 10 uses on butterflies instead of Lily. Now let's roll into some of my lip products. So I drew in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lip products for this project. And let me go ahead. The first one that we have here is the Romand Glassing Water Tint in Rose Splash. This is just a red tint. So for this one, I've been reaching for my tints a lot, but I was able to get 4 uses on this one. So this one is going, of course, to stay in for 6 additional uses, not rolling in anything in its place. You guys will see my graphics and my differences in weights popping up for this one, but only 4 uses. I really do love wearing a lip stain, so these are not hard for me to reach for, but of course I rolled in 2 lip stains, and so I've been trying to kind of get between the 2. I did roll in one of my Sephora Collection Shine lipsticks in Magnetic Wave, and I told you guys that to me in person this looks cool toned, but on camera it looks very warm toned. But one of you guys said that you also own this color, and it does pull off more cool toned, I guess, on the lips and on your skin. So that is my one. And like I said, even the lid, like that to me looks more mauvey cool toned. So, but this is in Magnetic Wave. Again, Shine lipstick. You guys know how I feel about lipsticks, but the shininess did help. So actually I got 7 uses on that one, and that surprised me a lot because again, I don't like my lipsticks. I'm not reaching for my lipsticks, but still getting 7 uses on that. So that might be one of the ones that I roll in a replacement because 3 more uses will be easy for me to do, and I won't be wasting a spot kind of with that one rolling out so quickly. So we did get 7 uses on that one. Let me try to get my book to lay flat. Let's see. Next one is also a lip stain. So this is the Sephora Totally Juicy Lip Tint, and this one is in Maple Glaze. I actually have this one on underneath the Project Pan lip gloss that I keep putting on because I'm trying to use, as the dogs itch and move my lights, I'm trying to use up the Sephora gloss in Dangerous this year, and so I do have Dangerous on top of, I stained my lips earlier with the Maple Glaze. I do really like these Sephora lip stains. I actually have 2 of them. I have Maple Glaze, and then I have the like tangerine one. But for this one, I was able to get, let's see, 4 uses on that one. So I was reaching for these 2 kind of interchangeably over the month because they are both lip stains and they're both kind of in the same color family. They both come out off a little bit red, just Maple Glaze is a little bit more brown toned, but I did go ahead and reach for that 4 times, and so that one will stay in for an additional 6 uses. Let's look at my NARS Afterglow Sensual Shine Hydrating Lipstick. I can't read the bottom, but I put the name of the product on my tile, so that does help. So this is in Wild Ride. I got this in a FabFitFun, and again, this is a red shade. which I really do like. I love this formula. So if I'm looking at a shine lipstick, I like this one because it has more of a transparent base versus the shine lipstick from Sephora has more of an opaque base. But I actually did go on Sephora's website and I was looking at some of these and kind of picking out the next color that I want to try. So I do have one of these saved in my loves list. So we will see when I am able to buy more lip products, which I don't need any right now. But when I do kind of get a hankering to get a new lip product, I would consider getting another one of these. And for that one, I did have 6 uses on it. That one I'm going to have to consider if I'm going to roll something in ahead of time for that one. But 6 uses on the NARS lip, what is it, Hydrating Shine lipstick. And then I did have my Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm in Toasted Marshmallow. So this one is another one where I'm pretty sure I got my 10 uses just because I was like applying it as I was sitting at my little like desk station over there, and I wasn't necessarily marking it down. Now for the Toasted Marshmallow, I do have 7 uses marked down in my book, but I'm pretty sure I used this 10 times. Either way, I'm going to use this an additional 3 times, but I am going to roll something else in its place because this is something that is very easy for me to reach for. I actually, like I said, I reach for it when I'm just sitting at my desk, and so that one will be easy for me to get the additional 3 uses on it and not have it holding up a spot in this project. But this one is beautiful. It is just a clear with shimmer, but it's the smell. It's the experience of these things that is just so, so nice. So Toasted Marshmallow, love it, but it is going to get a roll-in in its place. And that is all of my products that I'm looking at. So let me see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5, and then Wild Ride, 6. Let's roll in 6. I am feeling like I want to have kind of a stacked deck rolling into the next month. So let me make 6 marks in my book, and we're going to roll in 6 products. I know some of you guys ask what program I use, and I use Tiny Decisions, which is an app that allows you to put items into like a roulette wheel. And I do have my blushes, my eyeliners, my fragrances, my lip products, and my nail polishes. Yes, those are my 5 categories that I have rolled into my wheel. I did have highlighters last year, but I am routinely using all of my highlighters, so I'm not worried about those being neglected. So those are the 5 categories that I have a lot of products in that I want to make sure that I am touching all of them. So I do have my 6 marks. Let me move my basket out of the way so I can write and I have room. Let me do my screen recording. And we're going to draw in 6 items for me to use 10 times. So number 1 is going to be my Clinique Cheek Pop in Heather Pop. That is fun. I actually have the Black Honey Pop on my cheeks today, but I love the Clinique Cheek Pop blush formula. I actually voted that as my number 1 blush formula, and so I am happy to use that one. I actually kind of feel like I'm going to hit pan on that one soon. All right, then pick number 2 is the other one in Black Honey Pop. I was just talking about it. It was meant to be. See, we didn't get any blushes last time, so that means that the wheel is going to give me like all blushes, which if I get to that point that I have too many, I will go ahead and I'll kind of like make the executive decision. But let's see what else the wheel wants to give me for pick number 3. Sephora Blush Highlighter Glaze in Sunrise. I actually don't mind another blush being pulled in because that's kind of like a blush topper. But we now have 3 blushes, so I might start vetoing some blushes. Maybe the wheel will listen to me. Billie Eilish number 1. Okay, that one is in my 26 and 2026. That is not a hard fragrance for me to use, but I will gladly use that 10 times. All right, we have 2 more to go, so let's see what it picks. The Ambient Ghost palette. I actually just did that in my deck of panning, and I said that if I rolled it back in this project that I would use it, but I already have 3 blushes. So I'm going to roll again, but I'm going to make sure that I put the Ghost palette back onto the wheel as a selection for later on in the year. But let's keep rolling. The e.l.f. Sheer Tint in Plums Up. So that is another lip tint. I don't mind that one. Okay, that's fine. And then for our last one, should I just make the executive decision and just go ahead and truly roll in Lily as my last selection? I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick my last item and I'm going to roll in Lily as a nail polish, and I will truly get my 10 uses on Lily. All right, I made sure to go ahead and put the Ghost palette back onto my list of available options. Let me go ahead and grab all of these things so that we can go over these products. All right, I am back. I have all of my items, and so the first one that was drawn in was the Clinique Cheek Pop in Heather Pop. Lots of pops in there, but you guys can see I have used the crap out of this thing. You can't see the flower imprint on here anymore. I know this has like a waffle pan on it, so I'm so curious how much further down I have until I hit the waffle pan, but this is one of my favorites. I love this blush, and this is what made me pick up my other one. But I will go ahead and I will do my 10 uses on this, and I'm very curious if we will see a pan after my 10 uses. But then I also drew in the Black Honey Pop, and this is my newest Clinique blush, so you can see how much of that flower. I think I've only used Black Honey Pop twice, so you can see the difference between a practically brand new one and the way that Heather Pop looks, but also Heather Pop is many years old in my collection. But with the Black Honey Pop, again, this is what is on my cheeks today. I do love this formula, so this will not be difficult for me to get 10 uses on that. Then I got the Sephora collection. This is like the blush highlighter combo in Sunrise, and this one is just gorgeous. This beautiful, like bright orange, but like it turns into this like sunburnt cheek topper. It is stunning. So this will not be difficult for me to get 10 uses on at all. Love this formula as well. And we have our 3 blushes. We did pull in the Billie Eilish #1. Again, this is in my 26 and 2026. So this is something that I am trying to get used up. And you guys see at the beginning of February, I put my green line on there. So we are getting very far down in this fragrance. Now, I know in the past people had said that some of their bottles, like you could like unscrew it and she sells refills for these, but mine is one of the ones that was like the first run. So when this first came out, so my lid, unless maybe I get in there with like pliers and break the seal, I don't believe my lid is one of the ones that comes off, just because of this was like the first run, but probably before they decided to do refills. But so when this one is empty, it is just empty, but it is a beautiful just vanilla scent, so this one will not be difficult for me to get 10 uses on. Then we had my e.l.f. lip tint in Plums Up, and like I said, I don't use this on my cheeks. This is the dupe for the Benetint, but I do not use this on my cheeks. I only use this on my lips. It is a more purple mauve shade, and so I will go ahead and get 10 uses on this. I do love this as a lip stain as well. And then like I said, I made the executive decision to go ahead and just keep Lily in, the true Lily, and I will get 10 uses on this polish here. So those are all of my items in my Project 10 uses. I am super excited about having these new items kind of rolling in with these things that I will get used over the next month. And let me pack all this stuff up and put it in its basket, and then we will roll into my No Pan Left Behind. All right, so next we have my No Pan Left Behind. So again, I'm trying to touch the items, or I'm trying to touch all of the eyeshadows in my collection. So let me go ahead, and I'm actually going to pull up my description box from last month because I want to see what I was officially working on. So one of the in-progress palettes that I had was my Natasha Denona Metropolis. This one is a hefty lady. So this is a 28 pan palette, and again, beautiful. Loved rolling this in for the fall tones, but it did roll over into January with me. Let the dogs back into the room, and I will go ahead and pull my book, and I'll be able to show you guys, of course, my graphics on how I did on Metropolis. My husband was in the kitchen, so I had closed the door, but now he is gone and the dogs want back in. So I was finished with this palette before the end of January. I think I only had a couple more shades to go on this palette, so I did end up getting the additional, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 shades done on this, but it took me, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have 5 different colors of X's on my book. So it took me 5 months, like touching this across 5 months to get this palette done. That is crazy pants, but that's okay. We are okay with that. So got this done, love this. The palette still performs beautifully, so I am still very happy to have Metropolis in my collection. Then I had my 2 Alter Ego palettes. I had purchased these at the very end of the year. So I did have, where do I have these marked down? I think I have these on my new book. Yes. So I had the Mist Haven palette, which is the dupe for, I think you guys told me, Pretty Grunge from Huda. But again, like, I almost want to pull this back out again. I look at this color story and it is just gorgeous. And I was wearing this palette during the last month's video of this update, and you guys again loved that cool toned look that I did, even though warm tones also, like, I love this. I love this and I love this. So I just can't make up my mind, but I actually wouldn't mind rolling this one back in sometime during the year to get, maybe in the fall time, to get a little bit more use on this cool toned dream over here. So I did go ahead and I hit my goal of no pan left behind on Mist Haven. And then I also picked up the Alter Ego Goddess palette, which is the dupe for the original Natasha Denona Gold palette. And I was able to go ahead and get all of my uses and all of the shadows hit in this palette as well. This one was actually really nice to have just as like an everyday kind of like going to work palette, because a lot of neutrals with some pops of blue. It was very nice for that. But I did get the additional uses, and I really do enjoy the Alter Ego formula. The mattes are beautiful. The mattes blend beautifully, and the shimmers are not so thick that they cause a bunch of like creasing issues. The shimmers are kind of like that perfect little Goldilocks where they're impactful, but they're not super heavy on eyelids that have been around the sun 41 times. We'll put it that way. But I did go ahead and I got both of those done. What is my other one that I was working on? So those were the ones that can roll out. Let me go, don't worry about me. Glamlight, Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth palette. Again, my husband bought me the whole collection for Christmas, and so this is what this color story looks like. It's big, so it's hard to kind of maneuver this palette. But I can honestly say that I have not touched, actually I have not even put this into my book. Well, that's interesting. Yes, I have not even put this one into my book yet, so I still need to draw this into my graph paper, but I have not touched this since that one look that I did. I don't know what's kind of preventing me from reaching for this. I don't know if it is because of how big this palette is, or I don't know. I'm just not reaching for it. Maybe like, so the Glamlight lip products, if I go my entire life without using another Glamlight lip product, I would be completely content. I might end up decluttering some of the lip products from the Lord of the Rings collection just because They are literally, again, this is my opinion, so I can't say literally, but it feels like if it came in a lip kit, if I divide the amount of the lip kit, it comes to like an $8 product. So that $8 product, I'm curious how much went into packaging and paying the IP, and the rest of it, which is not a whole lot, went into the actual product. Which the product is what I'm using. I'm not using the IP, I'm using the packaging, but the packaging whatever. I'm using the product, and I feel like, my opinion, the least amount of money from that collection went into the actual product. And we'll leave it at that. But this. So I still need to actually draw this into my book. I still need to reach for this, but I just am not, again, maybe the lip products have put a bad taste in my brain about Glamlight, so I'm just not reaching for it, but I do want to do some more looks with that palette, but I'm gonna stop there. So what we rolled in last time was the Love palette, which was very appropriate for Valentine's Day, the My Dream palette, the Italian Spritz, and then I showed you guys that I bought Succulent Dew. So those were what was in here, and let me go ahead and go do this without dropping my palettes on the floor. So the Natasha Love palette, perfect time to draw this in for Valentine's Day. Love this so, so much. And I actually was able to already hit my No Pain Left Behind on this. It was so easy for me to reach for this palette in February. Got it knocked out. Very happy about that. This still performs beautifully. I think I told you guys the last time that the only shade that I don't like is Dream, and Dream continues to underperform. Like nobody's business. I'm just cleaning up my palette because it's a little bit dusty in there with some shadow. But that one is not the best cream to powder formula. This palette is also old, so it is what it is. But yeah, the rest of the shades were beautiful and I loved using them. So, Love palette is complete and done. Looking at the My Dream palette, this is what this one looks like. Now, I told you guys I did take out my Blackest Black and I have a single shade from the I Need a Nude palette in there. That single came as like a free gift with purchase from Sephora, so I just popped it out of the single palette pan thing and popped it into here. So with this one, oh, palettes are dropping. I have used the top here, the top 4, and I have used these 2, and I've used this one. So I still have 4 and 4. I have 8. So I still have 8 shades to go on this palette. It won't be hard for me to reach for this one. This one is actually very work appropriate. And so I will be able to get my additional uses on this palette. And I'm super excited about using like Babies and was it Innovation and Vision. So these shimmers that are in here. Did I already use Thrill? I already used Thrill, but Thrill is also a beautiful one. So very, very happy with this palette. I will continue to use. The other one that we rolled in was the Italian Spritz, and I do have some of Italian Spritz on my look today. But this is what this palette looks like. Very, very fun for spring rolling into summer, even though, like I said, we're having another cold snap coming through, so thank you very much. But I have used 3, 6, 9. I've used 9 of the shades in here. So I still have quite a bit to go, and I still have the blues to use. So we will see a blue look coming out of this palette very shortly. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 more shades, so we still have a little bit to go. Hopefully I will be done with this one before the end of March, but this one, I think I keep telling you guys this with Too Faced shadows. The mattes are beautiful. The mattes blend beautifully. Like that, I have mattes from this palette. I have these 2 in this look, and the mattes blend beautifully. Like that's a beautiful blend. but the shimmers on my lid came from the Sunrise palette that's back there from Natasha Denona. So I have Sunrise shimmers, but the mattes from here. And the shimmers from here are just thick. They are just thick and chunky. They crease on me, but that's okay. I'll use them. We will figure out a way to use these. I will tap out my shimmers. We are okay. Actually, I got a compliment from using this palette at the grocery store. The lady who was checking out my groceries said that she really liked my eye look, so I am happy for that. With Succulent Dew, I have just used it that one time. I've not really had the opportunity to, maybe I'll use this palette in my video that I'm filming tomorrow so that I can do more of a colorful look. I've had a lot of days where I've had to like go out and like meet with clients for work, so I typically will tone it down a little bit just for that. But if I am just sitting in the office doing like admin stuff for the day, then I'm fine doing a more wild look, but I've just had more face-to-face interaction with clients. But I do really want to do a fuchsia pink and teal look with this palette. So maybe I will play around with this palette tomorrow when I film my FabFitFun video, because I have all of my things for my box setting over there, and it is a very exciting box. I really am very happy about my spring box. But that is everything that we were working on. Let me look at my book here and let me grab my little tray, because I do have some other palettes back there that I have kind of been rolling in or working on kind of in the background. So my Natasha Denona Sunrise palette is rolled into my deck of panning, and just a little I guess spoiler to that, I only have 2 more shades on this to do. So this one, I'm not going to count it as a palette that is like in my little slots here, because within 1 more eye look I will have this palette done, and so that one I'm not worried about. I did roll in for myself between the 2 months. I rolled in the Glaminatrix Rich Romantics. I just feel like this is such a pretty palette for, again, like kind of like rolling into spring. So I am going to leave this one in my organizer here, and this one is going to be one of my picks. And then I told you guys that I did not touch my Ensley Rain palettes at all last year, and I want to touch them and kind of see what I think. I did one look with this palette, and at the end of this segment, I do go through and show you guys all of my eye looks, so you guys will end up seeing that. But I did do one look with this palette. This is the Flower Moon palette, and I will say that the shimmer creased horribly on me, and it's more these like more chunky shimmers. So the more finely milled shimmers do better, but these more chunky ones, which are actually the really fun ones, those ones are creasing so bad. And again, I just want to kind of get my idea about this. Like I would hate to have to like get rid of a bunch of these shimmers because they're just not performing, but I will if I have to. The other side of that, the mattes were performing very well. And so if it comes down to me trying out my Ensley Rain and realizing that I just need to pull all the mattes and some of the shimmers out of here and stick them in a Z palette, and then like get rid of everything else because it's just something is gone bad with the binders or the formula, or maybe it's just not right for my eyeballs, like I will do that. And so I want to at least touch these some like through the year. Cold Moon will probably be sometime in the fall, like rolling into the fall. And so with Flower Moon, I thought that this was appropriate for springtime, so I wanted to go ahead and touch these ones. So this one is technically rolled in right now. So if I put everything back on my tray, I technically only have space for 1 palette, but I am anticipating being done with my dream. I don't know what other name for this I was thinking. And I can see myself getting done with Italian Spritz. So I can see myself in the next week and a half getting done with these two palettes. So again, I don't want to necessarily like hold space. I'd rather have something kind of rolled in and waiting in the wings. So let me go ahead and I'm going to roll in 3 palettes. One for My Dream, one for Italian Spritz, and then I have one empty spot where, again, this one will live for the additional 2 shadows. So let me go ahead and I'm going to open my Tiny Decisions again, and we're going to roll in 3 palettes. You guys would have also seen that I am working on my Super Shocks in my project pan as well. So I do have my wheel pulled up with my palettes. So again, 3 palettes. Okay. Let me get my book out because I usually put a little dot next to the palettes just so I know what I'm reaching for. And then I do have palettes that I am rolling in according to season. So if we get a seasonal palette, or I think I've removed my seasonal palette, so I just have to be kind of conscious and aware of those ones as well. But all of that said, let's roll for 3 palettes. Palette number 1, as the dog just went under my desk, Paris Edit. Okay, that one is going to be so, so pretty. We can definitely do Paris Edit. All right, next one is going to be, and that's from Viseart, ColourPop So Jaded. Oh, that one's a big one, but that's okay. That's okay. We can work on that. So Jaded. That one is okay for the season. There are some darker tones in that one, but we can work around that. And Wildflower. Ooh, that is perfect for the season. That one has a lot of kind of like Easter egg shades in them. So let me pull those 3 palettes and we will make sure that those are waiting in the wings to be used for No Pan Left Behind. Every time I move, the dogs go skittering like something big is happening, and I love them to pieces, but sometimes. Okay, we've first rolled in. That is Shep coming to stick his nose. He's going to go look out the window and be a guard dog. But we did first roll in Paris Edit from Viseart. So I did depot my 2 Viseart mini palettes, or the Viseart Edit palettes. So I do have Paris up top and I have Rosé on the bottom. So we did roll in Paris. So we are going to work on these first 3 rows up here. If I end up reaching into the other palette down here, it is what it is. They are very nice complementary palettes to each other, so that is why I love having them together. But this whole palette is going to roll into my little tray back there. Then we had the ColourPop So Jaded. So I did depot this one as well because So Jaded was very big, and there was some shades in there that I took out, like the glitters and some of the other darker shades like the blues. But this is what is remaining of my So Jaded palette, and I do love this color story. It is very earth tones. It is very earth sign. It is very what I like, especially with this little purple section over here. So we have a more warm toned side and a more cool toned side, and I love that about this palette. So this one will not be hard for me to reach for, and it has my favorite ColourPop shade, which is Peridot. Is it Peridot? Is that how you actually pronounce that? Because it's all crystals. So is that how you pronounce that crystal? And then the last one that we're rolling in is the Lethal Cosmetic Wildflower palette. And again, this one is just so, so pretty. Which, hold on, hold the phone. Hold the phone. Is this it? Is this the dupe that we were looking for? So, yeah, those are very similar, but a little bit different in tone. You guys can see a very, very different in tone, but very close also. Yeah, so Succulent Dew and Wildflower have some similarities, but I do love the shimmers in here. Like I said, they're very, very Easter egg, and they are just so, so pretty. Like, that's just me tapping into them the smallest amount. And, like, they Perfect place on your wrist, Erin, where nobody can see. But that is just gorgeous. They're just that iridescent like topper, but they are so impactful, especially if you put them over a like a glitter glue or something. This one is so pretty. But having both of these rolled in at the same time actually will be very interesting for me to like compare and contrast looks. So it'll be interesting for next month when I go to show you guys all of the looks that I did, how these two kind of stack up with the looks that I get out of them. But those are our 3 additional palettes that we will be working on. Is going to be Viseart Paris Edit, ColourPop So Jaded, and the Wildflower palette. So I'll go ahead and put those behind me as well. Because now we are going to look at my eyeshadow looks that I was able to do over the past month. No, I don't want to update my software right now. I want to get into my pictures. Okay, we're going to start with this one because this was the one that I did with the Mist Haven palette that I used for filming for last video. And I just want to go back to this one because that was the really sultry look that like I couldn't stop looking at myself. So this look is so beautiful. I wish I had more places to wear looks like this, but I don't know if this is like Thursday at the office type of look, but beautiful shadows in that Mist Haven palette. Loved using it. Then let's see here. Then I did a warm look with the Metropolis and with Sunrise. Again, you're going to get warm looks with those 2 palettes because they are what they are. I did the more like purpley cool toned shadows with the Mist Haven, and I think this was the last of the shadows that I needed to use out of Mist Haven. But again, just it performs beautifully. I am very happy with the looks that I was able to get out of that palette. The next one is going to be a look from the Natasha Nona My Dream. I believe this is where I used a lot of the top 4 shadows from that palette, including the single that I put in there for the Blackest Black. Then I did this nice little goldy look with the Italian Spritz, and it has a little bit of a blue liner. Probably I used my Urban Decay Overdrive for that liner, but again, beautiful. I love mixing those like goldy tones with that teal blue because it is a beautiful combination. Actually, I have Overdrive on my Tightline today. Not that you guys can tell, but I just love having that teal blue kind of reflect off my eyes with the light. Beautiful. Oh, no, this is the last of the Mist Haven. So I had Mist Haven and I had Metropolis. I did a look with those 2 together. I think I had to use the black in Mist Haven, so I used that as a liner. Now we're going to get into the Love palette. I believe this is the look that I had in my Project Panning video, that nice beautiful pinky look for Valentine's Day. So that was done with the Love palette. Then I did a nice simple look with my ColourPop Party of 5 shadow. Again, that is the one that I rolled into my Project Pan right now to hit pan on that one. So I actually have a couple looks that I've done where I was like running late for work. I just needed to slap something on my face. So I did turn to Party of 5 for that one. Then another look with the Natasha Nona, a little bit darker of a neutral look, but that is what you're going to get from My Dream. Then I did that beautiful purple look with Succulent Dew. I filmed with that one. You guys really loved that look as well. And again, that palette is just, like, looking back at that, stunning. Love it. Can't wait to do another look with that one. I did that greeny, like, gold look with Goddess. I believe that is the rest of the shades that I needed to use on Goddess. I filmed with this look as well, so you guys would have seen that one. Very Cleopatra, I felt, with that very striking wing with that teal and that, not pink, that teal and that gold together. Let's see here. Then I did another look with Italian Spritz, just a nice little neutral look. Until I get into those blues in there, that's what you're going to get from that palette, those warm kind of goldy looks. Did another look with Love. You're going to get pink or purple from that palette, so that is what we're dealing with. I did another look with Party of Five, so that hopefully you guys will see that I'm actually using my Party of Five shadow. So I did another quick look with that one, did a more purple look with the Love palette. That's where I was getting into the purple side. Then let's see, I did a look with Sunrise and Love together. I think I filmed with this one too because you guys really loved this like bright and warm. It kind of looks like today's look, but different palettes, different shadows. So definitely got some use out of those two. Yes, I did film with this one. This is where I had the black top and that warm look that you guys really liked. That is from this one, whichever side is next to me. Let's see, lots of inspiration pictures. Inspiration for writing. Those pictures are yummy in there. Then I did this green look with the Flower Moon palette. Again, like the mattes blended out beautifully. It's just I'm going to have to really try out those shimmers because I think before I even finished my makeup, I had to tap out the creases. And throughout the day, I had to tap out the creases. At the end of the day, I had to kind of just swipe my finger over my entire lid to get shadow back into my creases because it had worn away. It was gone. And I used a glitter glue and it was still gone. I did another very bright red and gold look with Sunrise. Again, I love the warm looks from Sunrise. It is just such a beautiful palette. Another look with Party of Five. This one, I think I just had like a bronzer in my crease and then I went with Party of Five. And then I have today's look, which is a little bit more on the pinky side, I would say. I mean, it's warm, but I feel like it's a little bit more pinky with that shade on my lids. And so that is all the looks that I had for this update. And like I said, we have some really fun palettes to go through. I'm looking at them in my monitor here. So I'm really excited about getting some more use on, again, Flower Moon and testing that one out. I need to do some more looks with the Lord of the Rings palette. And then I'm super excited about using Succulent Dew and Scratchy Dog. Scratchy Dog. Yeah. Succulent Dew and Wildflower. I'm very curious about doing looks kind of back to back with those two and seeing what I think. So we will definitely have some very interesting eye looks coming up. But that is all I have for you guys. I know we're early on, but I kind of want to look at how I'm feeling about my palette collection because I'm not like itching to get anything right now. Like there's nothing that has come out that makes me feel like, oh my God, I need it. Even though Natasha Denona released her quads and I'm almost like, why not just do your mini palettes with the 5? Like, I guess she really likes the new compacts that she had made that kind of, she did a little bit, it feels like a little bit of a rebrand with the new compacts that she has like her blushes and stuff in. So she's using that same compact but putting quads into it. And to me, like the quads are not anything that we don't already have from her. I've been so unimpressed, even though I do want to try her foundation. So after I use some other foundations up this year, I do want to try, that's Mr. Shep. I do want to try the Natasha Denona new foundation, but as far as like eyeshadows that have been coming out from Natasha Denona, I am so unimpressed. I have everything that she is coming out with, and that's kind of disappointing because for a while, like I felt like she was kind of like pushing the trends a little bit with her palettes. But overall, like I said, I feel like I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling okay. If I'm looking at some of these things, like I said, I just need to work through some of my bigger palettes. I actually am very excited, and I might take this upon myself next update of rolling in my purple palette, like my Z palette with all of my purples in it. I think I want to roll that one in for the spring and get that one used up, but I've been itching for more purple looks. After I did the purple look with Succulent Dew, I've been itching for some purples. So I think after I get through done with some of these warm tones here, I really do want to look at the purples in my purple Z palette. But that is what I have for you guys today. I'm feeling very good about where I'm sitting so far this year, and I'm very excited about the palettes that are in my collection. I'm excited about the items that I rolled into my Project 10 uses, but here is where I have you guys do all of the YouTube things. Hit a thumbs up on this video if you guys are enjoying my content. If you're new or lurking, consider hitting that subscribe button. Stick around. This is my personality. I do project panning, conscious consumerism. I use what I have. I have a beauty budget, so I'm mindful about what I'm bringing in. So if that is the kind of content that you feel like you need in your life, hit that button, stick around, hang out with us. I do long videos, so if you need a friendly voice to just blabber on in the background while you get other stuff done, I can be that also. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know if you guys are doing a similar project, even if it's like a project 3 uses, a project 5 uses. I know that when we get kind of really excited about project panning, we do tend to hyper focus and then we forget about all the other amazing products in our collection. And so that is why I am doing this project. And of course, I am touching all of my eyeshadows to also kind of like hold off on not wanting to buy more. But otherwise, I do love our conversations down in the comment section, so drop me a line. Otherwise, I am going to go because I have to take a lot of pictures. And like I said, I'm filming tomorrow for my FabFitFun video, which again, I am very excited about the things that I got in my box. But otherwise, I'm going to say that I appreciate each and every one of you guys for hanging out with me. I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I'll catch you in my next one.